And welcome to Local Edition on Time Warner Cable. I'm Steve Swatt with the Sacramento Report. In the next few minutes, we're going to talk about efforts in Sacramento at the state capitol to derail the bullet train. My guest in this segment is Scott Wilk, a member of the State Assembly from Valencia. Thanks for being with us.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
So as you know, 2008 voters approved the high-speed rail. You think they deserve a redo?
Absolutely. When it was passed, it narrowly passed. They said it was going to be $33 billion and then it was going to be high-speed rail. As of today, it's $68 billion in climbing, and it's not high-speed rail. It's a kind of fast train because they've had to go to a blended plan. So I want the voters to have another bite at the apple.
The argument in favor of it, several, is that one, it will create jobs in the construction, and it will be good for our economy, and it's also looking forward into the future, and that those who want to stop it, lack vision, because after all, we're not building more highways.
Yeah. Well, what this bill would do is allow the voters to cancel it, and then if they do, there's $8 billion that's sitting there unspent that would go towards school construction for K-12 and higher education. So we will create jobs and provide infrastructure to our students that need to compete with students across the globe in a highly competitive global economy. So I think it's a much better use of our money than spending it on the train to nowhere.
And I guess we should say that bond money for school construction is virtually gone.
Yeah, it's down to about 150. Well, there's about 150 million left for seismic retrofit, but for regular school construction, there's hardly any left. I had voted last year to put a school bond on the ballot. I did not move forward because the governor didn't want it. So, according to the State Allocation Board, we're $12 billion behind in new construction and $5 billion behind in school modernization. This bill would be a step towards paying that down.
We're looking at the possibility, though, of having two somewhat competing school bonds on the 2016 ballot, because there's a separate effort, is there not, to put a school bond on. That's already started. Your effort, in essence, would be a school bond by repurposing that money. That could be a political problem for you, couldn't it?
Oh, actually, mine's better because the money's already there. Okay. So, and I support the efforts to put on a ballot measure for the school bonds, and that's, I think, $9 billion. But there's already $8 billion there unspent, so mine's actually more fiscally prudent.
Okay, let's go back to high-speed rail. They had a groundbreaking. It didn't really break ground, but I had a ceremony that sort of kicked off high-speed rail. Any doubt in your mind that the proponents are trying to get across the idea that this rail line is inevitable?
Yeah, but it was the emperor with no clothes. And, to have a groundbreaking when, one, you don't break ground, and if you were breaking ground, it would be illegal. Because under Proposition 1A, which is what the voters approved, is that you have to have an identified funding source for the project. And it's supposed to be 1/3 private, 1/3 state, 1/3 federal. There's no private money coming in, and the Republicans have taken over Congress, and they've very, very clearly said they are not going to fund this project.
And yet the high-speed rail folks say they know how to fund it. They can see where the money's going to come from.
It's supposed to be in their business plan. They just updated it May of last year, and they still have not identified the funding in their so-called business plan.
All right. Well, we're out of time for this segment, but it's a fascinating subject. We'd certainly like to have you come back and discuss your efforts moving forward, and we appreciate you being here.
Thank you so much, Steve.
And thanks to our viewers also for watching Local Edition on Time Warner Cable. A reminder, you can see this and other interviews on YouTube, also on My Government On Demand and the California channel. I'm Steve Swatt. Have a great day.